In ICT, we like to try and widen this out, so I've got 4 level 2 courses in ICT and digital media, so my students are they're quite savvy, they know what's going on. Right, and then that's where this gentleman comes in. Sometime last year, and this might take you back to the first lady that spoke, I was given, or at least I was given on the understanding that I would use them, 30 of these devices. You'll see the students in a moment, they'll be talking about a doobie, okay? And that's what this is. And for those of you who can't see, it's like a sort of iPod, but it does have a recording facility at the bottom, okay? So they could actually record into it. So when they talk about their doobies and using them and how they worked, that's what they're talking about, okay? It's an MP3, MP4 player, and that's what they mean, okay? The challenge for me was to achieve some meaningful learning and revision resources. What we didn't want was the triumph of presentation over content. They really had to be useful resources, really substantial. We wanted the co-construction of some academic areas, so I had to choose some areas to work with where maybe engagement might have been not obvious, if you like. Is it me? Is it you? Oh, right, okay. So somebody's twittering in the background, that's what the noise is. So some departments maybe that wanted a little bit of digital oomph, if you like. It's probably much more interesting than me. Oh, there we go. Okay, but a little bit of digital oomph was what we were looking for. I wanted the students to work in groups. I'm not sure about any other secondary teachers in here, but working in groups is always a bit of a problem, and we don't do it as often as we should. The students were to choose the media that they worked in. I thought that was really important. They were also going to choose their own technology, so the technology that they used, the one that they were really, really comfortable with, not the one that their teacher was comfortable with. You know, we can't use that because the teacher doesn't know how to use it, okay? We didn't want that. We wanted to allow them to do that. We wanted to choose it and to be as comfortable in doing that as choosing their own pen, pencil, or PC, or whatever. That's what we wanted them to, the freedom that we wanted to have. We wanted them to take responsibility for their own learning. That was really important for them. We did a couple of projects, and I did it with Keele University, who were really, really interested in this. We did a history project, which is the World War I stuff that you'll see. We did that with Year 9 students. And I mean, when you watch that, when you think that was created by Year 9 students, it's unbelievable. We also did some GCSE revision materials. You'll see there that one of them's actually composed and is singing a song, can you believe, which is wonderful. All of them that they uploaded onto these doobies. In modern foreign languages, they used them mostly for their oral GCSE. They found them really, really useful for the teacher to record the proper pronunciation into them and then for them to practice them. And it sounds a little bit cheesy when the students tell you a bit later on, but you'll actually see that one of them, we did have proper written feedback. This was a proper research project with Keele University, and one student did actually listen to it just for 2 minutes while he was walking home, which I think is fabulous because that's 2 minutes of revision that wouldn't have been done ordinarily. And one really, well, I don't know, student, I don't know what to call them really, one student who did actually use it for up to about 2 hours a night, which I think is probably a bit obsessive, but anyway, they did, and that was just fantastic. The difference in using the handheld device, in modern foreign languages, for the oral exam, they used it much more as an individual device, if you like. So they were recording into it themselves, they were listening to themselves, and a much more individual thing. So with history, we found that it was the group activities that they really, really liked the most. They liked actually creating the resources rather than, you know, anything else. They wanted to create them. They wanted to show them to everyone. With the World War I stuff, you'll see they've used images, they've chosen soundtracks, you know, everything that they've done is their own choice, and I think, you know, they should be commended for that. And in English, they were a bit more traditional, and they were filming scenes from set text. But you'll see they put their own slant on it, so you'll see that they are quite different. All of the resources that they made have movement, they've got sound, they create an atmosphere. They used a variety of approaches, and I think they're all really, really successful. The one thing they didn't do was stick to what they know. They always wanted to try something else. They always wanted to try something new. And if they're being directed too much in a classroom, I wonder if they would have done that. I wonder if they'd have felt confident enough to do that. The things that you must do, though, as a teacher, if it's going to be a success, you must set a time frame, because they will spend hours, weeks, days creating something that they know and love. So you must set some time frame for them. You must check the facts. We always try to make sure that everything that they did was going to be useful and could be used as a proper resource. Share the results. They love sharing. So, you know, get them out onto a shared area or onto the doobies or somewhere where these students can actually see what they've done. And I think that's probably enough of me. What I will do is show you some of the things that they've made. If it's going to work, I'll just show you some of the things that they made, and I hope you really enjoy them.
Well, we were given doobies for a period of about 6 months to use with our revision, because that would help us throughout our exams.
And we were allowed to take them home for about 6 months, and I found mine quite useful.
Questions, please. Pardon?
Yeah.
Cost of device. How much would cost the device?
I was actually given a class set on the understanding that I would actually do some work with them and make some meaningful resources. So actually that was fantastic. But we didn't actually buy them. I think they cost £100 or so. Yeah. So I mean.
One they were wonderful. I thought 700 something. Okay.
So the moral is keep it with your advisory service and get them to buy them for you. But the students absolutely adore them, and they're not terrific. I mean, it's not an iPod by any stretch of the imagination, but they did enjoy it. They just love engaging with the technology, and as they said, you know, I think most of the enjoyment and the pleasure came from them actually making resources. And none of those, the interviews I think were staged, but nothing else was staged, nothing else. You know, at no point did I say, right, go out and make a comedy version of Mice and Men, you know, because I mean that clearly wouldn't work, you know, and it just wouldn't work. But that's what they've chosen to do. That's how they decided that it should live. Yeah.
Were they used across the age and ability range?
Yes, we did. Yeah, it was really interesting. That's a super point, because girls really, really engaged with them. The boys loved the technical bit, but when it came to doing the voiceovers, they wanted to do the filming, but when it came to doing the voiceovers, it was always, you know, let's sit the girl down at the, and do the voiceover. So I mean, it really did make them interact, and that's why I think this group work, you know, that part of, you know, is really, really important. You know, they all found their own role there. But yeah, you know, there is always something for somebody to do. You know, there's always something. You know, they can do. You know, there are maybe fantastic at filming. You know, I mean, the filming wasn't great in some occasions. The camera work wasn't good, but with a bit of really skillful editing, suddenly, you know, you've got something worth having.
Any other questions?
You mentioned, sorry, that probably was the beginning of this, but in languages,
Yeah.
what sorts of resources are you using?
Really, really fantastic.
Or what's happening?
The idea was we gave it to the students and that they would decide, you know, how they wanted to use them. Sorry, can you hear me? Without a microphone? Yeah. Phone call, isn't it? Thanks. Thank you. Modern languages was really, really interesting. With modern languages, they found that they wanted their teacher to talk into it. That's what the students wanted them to do. They wanted the correct pronunciation. They wanted the correct grammar. They wanted the answers, you know, that they could listen to over and over again. And I mean, I suppose stop and think about it. You know, how fantastic is that? You know, you're not in a classroom in front of 30 of your friends saying, oh, could you just say that again for me, miss? I'm not sure I got it. You know, they haven't got to do that. All they've got to do is rewind. Nearly drove their teacher mad, mind you. But she did it for me, and that was really, really good. So, and then they wanted to record themselves and listen to themselves and check their pronunciation against the teacher's pronunciation.
With a bit of self-interest, how do you use the resources that you actually in schools?
On here, we...
In your school?
Oh, right. Oh, as you might imagine, the head of humanities, the history teacher, can't get enough of the resources, you know, as lesson starters, as plenaries, even getting the students, you know, to make them now as their own, you know, their own resources. And the languages, right, this is one experience that we didn't talk about on there. We go out, as a language college, you probably go out on trips. Do you take them out on trips, maybe France or whatever? What we did was set up some non-languages teachers with some conversational French, and we made sure they could do it before. And then we took a camera along and filmed them in France at the cafe, you know, when everybody goes, oh, they're just off on a jolly again, you know, modern languages. So they recorded those, and the students were really, really engaged. When they go up in the classroom, go, oh, look, there's Miss Smith, you know, talking a bit of French. You know, oh, she doesn't do it very well, does she? But it is it is like that. It's the people that they know, and they really engaged with that. So I don't know about you, but the next thing he's going to buy me are some of those flip cameras, because wouldn't they be fantastic?